This program proudly presented by Yellow, supported by American Express, Optus, and Qantas Business Rewards.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Peter Applebaum. Tonight's episode focuses on how digital marketing can transform your business. Overwhelmingly, online is where current and potential customers are and what they're using to make buying decisions. But digital can be very confusing. That's why we want to give you practical ideas and insights that will help you to better use digital marketing to help you to achieve your business objectives. On our marketing panel, we're going to speak to Michael Watkins from Yellow, Anthony Bedrosian from Service Heroes, and Dr. John Michaelopoulos from JM Dental. But first, our case study for this week. We're going to meet Elvis Sinisic, Director and Chief Instructor of martial arts business King's Academy. Elvis has actively used digital marketing to get where he is today. Let's find out more. Welcome. So here I was, working out, doing my martial arts on a regular basis down here at King's Academy in Moorebank, and I started chatting with the owner and the guide, Professor Elvis. So we thought we'd have a bit of a chat about what his experience is in business and what we can learn from it. Professor Elvis, welcome.
Welcome. It's good to see you here.
Thank you. Now, I understand that you had quite a name in the martial arts area before you actually took over the business in mid-2016.
Oh, that is correct. I mean, it's a little bit tricky. I actually started the business back in 2002, pretty much at the same time as I was competing. So while building my own individual brand, as you would say, I was also building the business brand at the same time. So it was kind of a simultaneous journey.
Okay, and I know that digital marketing, certainly in the last couple of years since you've taken it on by yourself, has been critical. Is that correct?
Oh, that is correct. I mean, we started back in the day when it was all papers, it was books and magazines.
The dark ages, in other words.
Absolutely. Now it's all digital. You know, everyone has a phone. They can access everything online on their phone. So it's imperative to have, you know, top-notch digital marketing and to understand the different elements of it. And
so clearly you're a digital marketing believer.
Yes, that is correct.
The business would not have achieved the sort of metrics, because the metrics you told me about a bit earlier are quite astounding. When you took over the business in June 2016, there were 200 members, there are now 500, and you've also quadrupled the turnover. Can you tell us a bit more about how you achieved those amazing results?
Yeah, look, again, it's a long story. We had the original location, and that has always done well because, you know, we put a lot of time into it. This was our second location. Started in Liverpool and moved to Moorebank, and it went for many years, but it never went anywhere. So once I took over, I had to start making changes, because if I wanted to survive, I wasn't going to do it with what was coming out of the business at the time. So, you know, I made a lot of changes relating to the culture, the experience, the classes. But doing that, it's no good if people don't know about it. So that's where digital marketing was very important. I needed to get that message out, let people know what we were doing, how we'd grown, and what was available to them. And it was, you know, a combination of your website, your social media, your SEM, your SEO, paid advertising, but all coming together to get me to where I am today.
Right. Now, you also mentioned that when you first took over the business, you were spending around $5,000 a month on digital marketing. That's a pretty incredible amount of money. So there are going to be a lot of people watching this show who are going to say, that's an incredibly scary amount of money to spend on your business.
Look, yes it was, but no it wasn't. After taking $250,000 out of my home loan to invest in the business, $5,000 was a drop in the bucket. Naturally, I didn't have the money because I was basing it on my projected income, but you have to have a certain belief in what you're doing and what you're achieving. If you don't take risks, you're not going to achieve extraordinary results. So I took the risk, and as you can see, it's paid off.
So roughly, you're spending $5,000 on digital marketing, and around, approximately up and down, you're turning over around $60,000 a month with your businesses.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, it varies. You know, from a slow month around 50 up to, you know, just shy of 100,000 a month. Obviously, my goal is to break the 100,000 a month. I'd like to make this $1 million business.
Yep. Well, you're not far off.
No. And again, if you don't have those goals, you can't achieve those results.
Okay, Elvis, time to get out of this suit and time for me to get into the suit I'm most comfortable with and talk about more specific marketing ideas and suggestions that you may have.
Sounds good.
So Elvis, what marketing platforms do you use?
A couple of different avenues. Predominantly we use online. So obviously we have word of mouth with member referrals. We do the odd newspaper or magazine as well.
That's a huge amount of work that you do from a marketing point of view. How do you actually test and measure what's the most effective?
Yeah, pretty much all our inquiries that come in, we like to try and record how they heard about us, where they found out about it. Some of them it's easy because as it comes into the email, you know, it states where it's come from. Phone calls, we have to do a little bit more of digging in, asking them questions. But yeah, I have a spreadsheet. So each person that comes in, what are they looking to do? Yep. Where have we heard from them? And any other pertinent information. So
given that you record, that's very smart. It's like that's data. It's all about gathering data. Given that you do record where they come from, back of the envelope calculations, what percentage of leads that turn into members come from various platforms?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but again, in my spreadsheet, on the main one, I have a basic percentage. So from inquiry to a booked appointment to an intro member to a member, so I have all those stats. And then when I go into my page, I can actually have a look at it and break it down to, did it come from the website, did it come from a phone call, did it come from a member referral, and I can actually look at that and work out what's working for each particular month or period. And then we even break it down further where I have a monthly spreadsheet, where I also look at the people who've just walked in and haven't booked an appointment as well. So we try and track that information too.
Apart from doing martial arts, what other tips would you give small businesses who are looking to succeed in marketing as you have? Number one
tip. As I said, be passionate about it. Take the time to go out and study, learn it, understand it.
So, key marketing lessons from Elvis's experience is to take calculated risks, be passionate about what you're doing, and of course, spread the word about your business. And the best and most cost-effective way of getting the word out? Social media. If you have any questions or suggestions, let us know on Facebook at Marketing Matters TV or contact us via the website at marketingmatterstv.com. After the break, we speak to 3 experts on the American Express Marketing Panel.
Marketing Matters returns soon. Thanks to American Express Business Explorer. Let your business expenses reward you. Marketing Matters is proudly presented by Yellow. Do business with Yellow. Connect at yellow.com.au.
Welcome back. To discuss how digital marketing can transform your business, we're joined by Michael Watkins, who's the Digital Strategy and Capability Manager at Yellow, Anthony Bedrosian, owner of trade company Service Heroes, and Dr. John Michalopoulos from John Michalopoulos Dental. Welcome. Michael.
How are you?
Good. First question. Do you think digital marketing can transform smaller businesses?
Yeah, I think it can, absolutely. This is an exciting part of digital ecosystem that we're really moving through. Essentially, digital has transformed so much over the last few years that there's so many options for small businesses, and it's really an exciting time to get really good revenue results out of that.
Okay. Well, let's actually have a look at some research about where people find out about new products. We actually have a look at the first chart. You'll see, as we can see, overwhelmingly, Google is number 1, and interestingly, word of mouth is not far behind it. So a lot of people are saying that it's probably, okay, it's social media and all those sorts of things, but I think all of us are talking about Google. But if we actually look at the second chart, we see that it's actually from a age point of view, there is quite a significant difference. We see that whilst Google is still popular for those under 45 and those over 45, the real delineation happens when you actually talk about the traditional marketing methods such as TV, newspaper, magazine, etc., where 63% of over 45 use it, but overwhelmingly the under 45s use social media.
This is a really big space. So if you look at all advertising, you're talking about $16 billion in Australia that's spent. But of that, Magna says about $9 billion is digital marketing.
Wow.
And the winner is Google. Google is still the #1 place to be.
There you go. And John, Anthony, is digital marketing right for every business?
I guess, Pete, you got to reverse engineer any marketing. So you need to know where your customer is, who your customer is from the end in mind. They might not even have any digital platforms. So look at my business. We've got a plumbing, electrical, and air conditioning business, and you never know when plumbing, electrical is going to break down. So if my electrical customers are needing an electrical service when they've got no power, they're not going to go to their computer, and if their battery is dead on their phone, they might be going to a Yellow Pages catalogue or a newspaper. So you've got to look at every customer, every business at its merit.
Okay. And John, you've been testing digital marketing for your business over the past 6 months.
That's correct.
So you're at the relative early stage from a digital marketing journey.
Yes.
How do you recommend that other small businesses should go about doing the same and putting their toe in the water?
Yeah, I think without a doubt they should break through the shackles. And I mean, I was always, my business was always working and it was successful and I was busy, but I was a bit reluctant at first, but I've probably been about 6 months now where I've been doing some advertising and I've been seeing the rewards without a doubt.
Right, okay.
But I urge all businesses to get onto it.
I guess the big question is, how do you start? What do you recommend for businesses? Where do you start?
With digital marketing?
Yeah.
Obviously have a good website and start working on Google. I think it's a great idea, and having that platform.
Okay. And so,
You can start with a mentor as well.
a mentor?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you find such a mentor?
So digital space.
Okay.
So do the research.
Google it, as we saw from the
exactly.
research. Okay.
Exactly.
So Michael, what would you recommend for businesses that don't have any experience with digital? If they're looking for a mentor, for example, and they might not be tech savvy. I've spoken to a lot of smaller business owners that say, I wouldn't know how to turn a computer on, and as for a mobile, I'm still using my old Nokia Flip.
Yeah.
Where do they start?
I think Anthony's right. You got to start with a trusted partner, and one of the things to do would be to hold them accountable for performance. Then to John's point, which channel do you start with? Well, you have to start with a few, because you want to make sure that you're able to see which one is going to work best for your business and which one's going to resonate best with your customers, because at the end of the day, it's all about your customers transacting.
Okay, and Anthony, do you think that digital marketing can actually deliver bottom line results?
Definitely can. So digital marketing can be used for any source, even to recruit new staff. So which you need the talent and the culture to go with that.
Right.
So it's not only customers, but it's also to bring in new recruiting staff.
That's a good point.
And John, you have a surgery in the CBD.
Correct. Yeah.
Highly competitive.
Yes.
You stand out how? How do you get how do you stand out using digital, and B, how do you get customers using digital in such a crowded space?
Well, we stand out by starting to advertise on the mediums, exactly like Google, etc., and doing some Facebook and campaigns such as that. But I think also too, good old-fashioned. I think
Traditional marketing.
Can't underestimate the good old-fashioned customer service, being true to why you're there in the first place.
Right.
The fundamentals are important to me, and that's what I've been really relying on. And slowly now, I kind of feel like you really have to embrace this digital spectrum that we're moving down. You have to get on board, because it's just the way of the world now.
I think that's a good point too, in that the marketing funnel hasn't changed. It's about getting awareness, getting them to consider your business, pick you, and then make money and hopefully do it again and again. And this is where the traditional methods really are a big part of drawing people into that funnel.
Yeah.
So coming up after the break, the panel discusses this week's marketing news and views.
Marketing Matters is back in a moment, thanks to Optus. Say yes to growing your business. Marketing Matters is proudly presented by Yellow. Do business with Yellow. Connect at yellow.com.au.
Welcome back to Marketing Matters. This week, the sad news that home delivery franchise business Aussie Farmers Direct has gone into liquidation, leaving hundreds of employees and franchisees, not to mention thousands of customers, in the lurch. While there are obviously many reasons behind the collapse of any business, I wanted to ask the panel what the key things business owners and managers can do purely from a digital marketing perspective to failure-proof their business. So, Michael, can digital marketing turn around the fortunes of a business that's going through tough times?
Yeah, look, these are tough times, and I think it would have been better to do it a little bit earlier. But having an understanding and using digital marketing to know what your customers are wanting and getting that feedback loop is a really big advantage of digital marketing. It's like really having your finger on the pulse of your business.
Okay. And Anthony, your business is doing well. Can digital marketing help you to build on that success and strengthen your business?
Absolutely. Going back to that original point of recruiting staff, it's a way to push your core values, your mission, and why you're in business, your vision.
Okay. Yeah. You actually mentioned before when we were chatting that online reviews are so critical for you.
Very important. It's community management's very important. You've got to stick to your core values and your mission. So sticking to that message is very important. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. We need to stick to that.
And culture is obviously very important for your organisation?
Definitely it is.
And John, I know in your dental surgery, obviously culture is also important for you. Do you think being active online is a positive for your customers?
Oh, Peter, absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to be active on all platforms. You really need to keep in contact with your existing patients or customers.
Right.
And also you want to attract new customers as well, so you constantly have to just have a presence there so you don't get forgotten, really.
Now, you mentioned as a healthcare professional, obviously you've had restrictions on what you can and say from a marketing point of view. Does that apply in the digital sense as well?
Well, the restrictions originally were, we weren't allowed to advertise historically. Right. We had restrictions on what size banner we had at the front of our surgery. That's all lapsed now over time, and we're slowly, the Dental Association is slowly letting us advertise a little bit more freely. There's still got some restrictions, like we can't put reviews, for example, on our website. Right. For some reason, that's they haven't broken through the shackles there, but things are definitely progressing to a way where we've got a little bit more freedom than we used to, which is great.
So, Michael, final word briefly. So, what are your thoughts about how businesses can I guess, failure-proof themselves using digital marketing? Yeah,
I think there's a big piece with doing more than one thing, and measuring it. I think that's a big one. There's a lot of measurement in digital that doesn't come on traditional forms. So try a few.
Right, so keep trying and keep... I like the advantage of digital is it's not going to cost you a fortune to actually test the measurement.
Absolutely, and I think, if you look at AdWords, if you just did AdWords today, you'd be missing out. You need to look at what Facebook's doing and what directory sites are doing and what traditional support can do as well.
Okay. I'd like to thank Michael, Anthony and John for their time and insights on this week's panel, and we'll see you after this short break.
Marketing Matters is back in a moment, thanks to Qantas Business Rewards, rewarding Australian business. Marketing Matters is proudly presented by Yellow. Do business with Yellow. Connect at yellow.com.au.
And welcome back. Let's review the tips from this week on how digital marketing can transform your business. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We're not going to tell you what digital platforms or strategies you can use. Instead, we're going to suggest something much more important. That is, how to think about digital marketing and the best ways to plan for maximum success. Once you have that under control, everything else can follow. So first, it's about relationships, not platforms. Digital marketing is not about Google, Facebook, Snapchat or mobile apps. It's about the customer relationships, internal and external, that those platforms can help you to create and grow. Most people forget this and get wrapped up in the technology and wonder why all the money they've spent hasn't shown a return. Understand this and you have a much better chance to achieve positive results with digital marketing. Second, Embrace the unknown. Don't believe all those smug and pesky millennials. Digital is not that complicated. If you don't understand something, there's invariably a short YouTube video explaining it, along with countless courses on websites like Lynda and Udemy. Next, start from what your customer wants and work back from there. Yes, it's marketing 101, but like the first point, it's too often forgotten. Identify what your customers want, understand where they are and where you should be to persuade them, and then put in place a plan to make it happen. Traditional still works. Traditional marketing tactics like TV, radio, newspaper and outdoor advertising, public relationships and even trade shows still work even in this digital age. And you know what? They work even better when combined with a savvy digital marketing program. Finally, as you heard on the panel, test, measure and repeat. The great advantage with digital marketing is that you can easily, quickly and cost effectively make changes without spending a packet. And some viewer comments from last week's episode on where to spend your marketing dollars. Karen from Melbourne said, love the idea of bundled services. If my local cinema offered childcare services, I would be going to the movies much more often. And Melinda from Port Macquarie wrote, I found that most people don't follow up after they've sold something, which isn't very smart. I agree. Thank you very much for your feedback. And don't forget to give us your comments, suggestions and questions on Facebook at Marketing Matters TV or via the website at marketingmatterstv.com. That's all for now. Thanks for watching Marketing Matters, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
This program proudly presented by Yellow, supported by American Express, Optus and Qantas Business Rewards.